Hello everyone, so I am at Bowie State University. Shout out to the background. I know it looks nice. So I have an assignment and I am going to be talking about some computer science things, and I need some views so that I can get this grade. Shout out to Professor Denzel on the assignment. So I am going to be talking about violence in video games. I have little siblings and they really love their video games, but I do feel like that adults and parents, we need some more knowledge to make sure we're taking care of our children, our babies, so that they, guarding their minds and the stuff they're watching. So I'm going to start by just looking at and going over the ratings of games and how they work. So give me a moment. I'm just going to read that to you all. Okay. So we have rated E games. Rated E games are suitable for all ages. They contain minimal cartoon, fantasy, or mild violence and or infrequent use of mild language. Okay, then we have E 10 and plus, 10 up. So that's like E, everyone, mostly 10 years old and older. And those games have a little more cartoon, fantasy, or mild violence, and or minimal suggestive themes. So then we have T for teen games. And this is usually suitable for ages 13 and up, and they contain violence. They may contain, as the website says, violence, suggestive themes, crude humor, minimal blood, stimulated gambling, and or frequent use of strong language. And then we are going to get into some of the even stronger ratings. M for mature. M for mature. I have to tell you this because I feel like many of the games your young people are playing probably have an M on it, and it's not M for me. So rated M games. Content is generally suitable for ages 17 and up. May contain intense violence, blood and gore, sexual content, and or strong language. So definitely important for you to know. And then we have adults only. I personally have not seen an adults only game, but that is content suitable only for adults ages 18 and up. May include prolonged scenes of intense violence, graphic sexual content, and or gambling of real currency. So now that we kind of went over that, here's some couple of games that fit into those categories. So Fortnite is super popular right now. That is a T game, so suggested ages 13 and up. And some of our popular games, at least when I was growing up, Halo, Call of Duty, Mortal Kombat, rated M for mature. So some of the consequences of these violent games: increased aggression, decreased self-control. Some people say, well, hey, if they play these violent video games, it's a good way to release pent-up aggression and anger. However, the reality is that these games actually can increase anxiety and increase a child's belief that the world is a bad place. I don't think that really helps release pent-up anger. Another thing that these video games can do is they can desensitize youth to violence, and they can lead to a lack of empathy. So children can see things that should bother them, and it doesn't really bother them. And the last one that I'm going to talk about is these games, they reward you for the violence you do to other characters. And what can that do? That can give a child a sense of pleasure and reward. And they can associate that with violence. They can associate pleasure and reward with violence. I remember when I used to play Mortal Kombat, and my favorite character was a guy that would stomp on people. He would just stomp on your head. And every time I would just stomp on my opponent, I would just be like, Mortal Kombat, because I killed them. And there's this sense of like, yes, I'm victorious because I have shot down and I've killed my enemies. So here's some other things to consider when it comes to these violent games. A lot of times the perception of women in these games is super off. When you think of women in video games, what do you see them as? Prostitutes. In Grand Theft Auto, they were definitely prostitutes. You can run them over, do whatever you wanted to them. And it was like, yeah. And a lot of times they have us dressed in these super revealing clothes with these humongo body parts that aren't really realistic, but like they're just it's a view of women that's just not accurate. Rarely do we get to be the heroes or the main thing. We're often the side, and I think that's a problem, because perception plays a big role in how we see ourselves. And finally, I really want people to think about addiction. It's just the same as a lot of people my age are addicted to your cell phones, and I'm going to get into that in the next video. We are allowing our children to get addicted to video games. Addicted to video games. And so I just believe that parents, guardians, siblings, aunts, uncles, like cousins, like we have a role to play in our babies' minds and hearts. And one of the things I really want to suggest, that I think it's simple, but it will play a big role. If you get your child, your friend, your loved one a game, play it with them. When they go to open that new game and they're like, "Can I play?" You say, "Wait until I'm available. Wait until I'm ready," and sit down and play that new game with them. You need to see firsthand what your child, your loved one is taking in, so that you can be the one to say whether or not it's appropriate. Even though we have these ratings, don't let them be the judge of what you want your child to see and not see. They can be a guider, but ultimately you have to decide if even that T game is suitable for your child. So that's all I have so far. Please check me out. I need some views. I'll be posting 2 more videos, and thanks again for watching. Please, please, please notice and be aware of what your child is playing. They say that violent video games can be more detrimental than violent movies. Actively engaging with a violent video game can have more negative effects than watching it on TV. So please, please, please pay attention to what your child is watching and playing. Thank you. Catch you later.